Hello and welcome to another episode of Connection Alchemy. I'm your host, Emma Buggy, and I am passionate about turning all of those sticky, icky places in relationships and connections where we get lost in communication, where we lose ourselves and each other, and there's all this garbage gunk left over, into an opportunity for deeper connection with self and with each other. So in a sense, Connection Alchemy is about alchemizing that rubbish into gold, a golden opportunity for connection. And today I want to invite us into a process or a way of thinking based on my own exploration of, what happens when we lose ourselves in communication and connection with another, particularly romantically? What happens when we lose that sense of self? So I don't know if you've experienced those moments where it feels like there's a ping pong match happening between you and your partner or your friend or your colleague. And so, one of you expresses like, I'm unhappy about this is upsetting me. And then the other person, instead of staying with the expression that's just been shared, goes into defense mode, is like, well, I'm unhappy about that. Or the response is more like, well, you didn't understand what I meant when I did that. Like, what I actually meant was this. And then this person goes, no, but you haven't really heard me. And you do that all the time. Well, you do this all the time. And then it's like, who wins? Like there's a sense of, each person almost has a sense of urgency in their system. So I wonder if that feels familiar for you, that urgency to be seen and heard and understood by your partner or your colleague or your friend, and it's just not happening. And then there's almost like this, like, I want to convince you, I want to express to you, I want to explain to you why what you said doesn't sit with my reality. It's not how I see myself. And so what I would love to explore today is really one simple concept that can help me, has helped me very much to slow down my responding and to get more into connection with this sense of, there's two of us in this conversation having our own experiences. There's me having my own internal experience and world and imaginations and feelings and emotions, and there's you having your own internal world and experience and feelings and emotions and everything moving through you. How can I slow down into that as the reality first? That being the first place from which we connect, knowing that we're both experiencing things that may not connect in a reality that we agree upon, but somehow, if I can get curious about that, then there may be more space for me to connect with you and you to connect with me. And from that, we can somehow begin to come closer to each other in understanding what's really going on. So it's kind of that first step in slowing down into this moment of connection between me and you. And I will say that it's inspired by authentic relating and circling, two methodologies that are very much linked and almost the same in many ways. And I attended a workshop this weekend. I will name the person Jim, and I will put a link to his work in the chat, where I just felt very inspired by Jim's leadership and also by the modality that he was teaching. So I am going to be bringing in something of that, inspired by that, but not the exact same sort of exercise that he does. And bring in also the awarenesses and practices that I have been teaching or facilitating for the last few years that come from the modality of nonviolent communication or compassionate, authentic relating, somehow infusing them both in a sort of meditative practice that we can sort of use in order to bring us into the present moment. And before I do that, if you're new to this podcast or you've been listening for a while, I'd love to invite you to press the follow and like button. Maybe leave a comment. Tell us about the kind of things that you want to hear about in this podcast. The more I hear from you, the more I can make content that really answers your relationship questions, your communication questions, your queries. And if you follow and like me, it also means that I get put in front of a wider audience of people who are interested. And that supports me to make this podcast sustainably, because the more people I'm getting out to, the more I have a sense of contributing and enjoyment, and and then more people will get in touch and share what's important for them. So please do share, please do like and follow. But the most important thing is, let me know if there's something you want to hear about in the podcast. Get in touch, and I'll leave it at that. So, coming back to, when we get in this ping pong match of, it's either me or you, what can we do to slow down and bring into awareness that sense of, actually, there's two of us having an experience in this moment, taking inspiration from authentic relating and nonviolent communication. And so I'd like to invite us into either a meditation, or if you prefer to journal, then you might want to pause this video, get a pen and paper and journal what you hear me taking us through in the meditation. Otherwise, get yourself set up in a comfortable position where you can sit with yourself for a moment and relax into this meditation. So the first thing I'm going to invite us to do is just close your eyes or bring your gaze downwards so that you can really feel that you're in a relaxed sort of position with your eyes resting rather than focusing on anything in front of you. And perhaps starting by noticing your breath. Maybe just noticing the gentle undulations of your in-breath and your out-breath. How the body responds to the in-breath, expanding the chest and the stomach, maybe in the shoulders, and the out-breath naturally contracting or going inwards and allowing that breath to come out and the belly comes back. Without trying to change your breath, just noticing those sensations for a moment together. Noticing the energy in your body as you breathe. And maybe even the sensations of your body sitting on the chair or the sofa. The touch points where your skin, muscle, tendons meet, surface. And then coming back to the breath, that energetic flow of life that's moving through you. And just asking yourself, how is it to be me in this moment? How is it to be me right here, right now? Just noticing as you ask yourself that question, where does your awareness go to first? Perhaps your awareness goes to sensations in the body or thoughts in the mind. Just allowing yourself to notice your present experience, your in this moment experience of how it is to be you. And now bringing that person that you have this conflict with, someone in your life that you are holding some tension around, a particular experience or conversation perhaps that you had with them, bringing that person into your mind, bringing that particular moment of conflict, of tension, of discomfort between you into your awareness, into your view. And just really focusing in on them, their body, their energy, their voice, their words, their movements, touch. Maybe taking some breaths with yourself as you're allowing that image of them in the moment when you felt conflict with them, where you felt tension with them, into your mind. And just asking yourself, if it feels natural and in flow, is there a curiosity in me towards how it is to be them in that moment of conflict? Just seeing if that naturally flows for you when you ask that question. How is it to be them in this moment that I'm imagining? How is it to be them? How do I imagine their body might feel, their thoughts might be, their wishes, their longings, their feelings? And really just welcoming yourself to also notice if your curiosity stays with you and how it is to be you right now as you witness them. And if that is so, just allowing your curiosity or your attention to go where it needs to be, whether it's how it is to be me or how it is to be them. And just noticing where your attention is at, where your natural curiosity is right now. Allowing that moment to keep playing out in your mind, witnessing them, witnessing yourself. Just staying with that curiosity question, how is it to be each of us in this moment together? And so you might want to press pause on the recording and really stay with that for another 5 minutes, that inquiry, maybe even 10, really allowing yourself to move that curiosity between how is it to be me, how is it to be them. Or if you feel that you're complete, then I welcome you to take a paper and pen and just write down what you noticed. What did you notice about how it is to be you, witnessing them in this moment of conflict or disconnection? And what did you notice about how it is to be you in this moment of conflict or disconnection? What information does that give you about the reactions that you have, what's moving through your mind, the perceptions that you have about them, the ideas that you might have about them, and your curiosities of their experience. And perhaps listing down, after you've written about your experience in this meditation, any feelings or emotions that you're aware of now. And maybe answering the question, like, what's important to me in this connection with this person? What's important to me? What do I value in this relationship? So I hope that was supportive. I would really love to hear how you experienced that short meditation. And I really look forward to hearing from you about what else you'd like to learn, know, experience, understand, complaints that you have about relating with your partner, with your peers, with your colleagues, family. It is a complex world out there of human connection, one that I feel so passionately about because I see how beautiful it can be when we slow down into that spacious place where we can connect from the heart, from our bodies, from this curious place. Have a look at other podcast episodes if you like, and we will meet again soon. Thank you for listening.